are you ready? Yun yung tanong, are you ready?
I have no choice but to be ready. So,
Wait, a little bit of backtrack. How was your life like before everything else? Before PBBM1?
okay. It was quiet. It was quiet, and my favorite thing to wear was my anonymity. It still is, but apparently that's gone. Thank you to social media. But yeah, I like being quiet naman eh. I never really like the spotlight. So
Pinapanood
that
mo ba
worked
yung
out.
syempre alam naman natin sobrang pumutok yung yung election season. It was one of the most talked about, 'di ba? I mean, positive, negative lahat. But one thing was for sure, many videos of you surfaced on YouTube and TikTok. Pinanood mo ba? Or pinanood ba ni Sin?
No, I don't I actually don't watch the videos unless they directly send it to me.
Okay.
And then even then it came to a point, in the beginning I would watch like some of them, but it came to a point na parang ako ka na ako sa sarili ko, so hindi ko talaga nagustuhan. And I don't like watching myself anyway, so no.
And of course, nasa music industry ka rin kasi, 'di ba? Prior to this. But you
Before,
were
not
before
anymore.
drummer, 'di ba? Kumbaga hindi ka nagli-lead vocalist or anything. But you also DJ.
I used to DJ as well, yeah. Before Sandra did, I did it. But yeah,
Wow.
that didn't. I picked drumming over DJing because I knew that there are so many more better DJs than I was, you know, and to be honest, there's a lot of much better drummers than I am as well. Kaya hindi ko na rin masyado pinursue. So more often than not, you know, you leave it to the better people that are more better for the job than you are. And when you see it, you just do it as a pastime, you know, have hobby lang siya. Passion ko talaga ang music. I always will love music. It's part of my life. But to do it professionally, I think takes a lot more than I can give. It takes a really, really strong person to be able to do that. And ako, parang hindi ata, I'm not built for that, I don't think. And I don't want to keep, you know, anyone from taking the people that should be there and take the spotlight should be there, you know, and I'd rather support them than be the one there, you know.
And speaking of support, alam ko kung gaano ka lalim ka pagdating sa mga sinusuportahan mong artists, and one of which is like BTS. Who knew na ARMY ka? I mean, you even colored your hair, right? For it.
No, yeah, I colored my hair. Bleach ko siya, hindi ko siya kinulay kasi sabi ko, masyado na yung kulay, yung bleach na lang kasi mas madali, 'di ba? And obviously all these Korean bands, and I really did not like K-pop until there's no one else that I actually really like except for them. And I don't know why, nag-resonate kasi sa akin, tapos yung lyrics nila, all of these things, and that's why it's weird for me to think that people are slamming them a bit because they're saying it's an entirely different language, blah, blah, blah. Well, I listen to, you know, Spanish, French songs, and you don't think twice about that, and you don't understand what they're saying. You know what I mean? Japanese jazz and rap and all of these things, Portuguese, and I don't understand why it's such a big deal that, you know, you're listening to pop music from another country. There's a lot of people that listen to P-pop that I don't, you know, that not Pinoy. And they like the E-heads. They like all of these things. They don't understand the songs, but they dig them. And I mean, music trends, that's one of the things that I love about music. You know, it transcends any sort of language. It's like math.
So, sinong stan mo? Sinong favorite mo?
Kim Seok-jin, forever and ever and ever.
Oh
Ultimate bias. Alam ko, nakapila na po ako. Nakapila na po ako doon. Kaya hindi na po ako magbibigay ng ng allowances.
Pero wait lang. So ngayon, nalungkot ka ba nung they're taking a break?
Yeah, I honestly believe that because nga knowing the history and reading up on them and things like that, no? Nakikita mo naman how hard they work, the content, the amount of content that they put out, music, whatever, webtoons, mga variety show, ibang klaseng level, diba? So that's what, 9 years, nearly a decade of just continuously working at that pace na parang siguro naman you need a break, diba? Hindi mo na, pati yung bakasyon nila, diba, naging variety show. So it's like, parang yeah, dude, take some time off, man, you know? But it's
pero
not really
ikaw,
a hiatus.
balik tayo sa'yo, ikaw wala ka ng time off, di ba? I mean, you're very busy in Mindanao. Parang we can't catch you here and there. We don't know where you are. Now we know because nasa inauguration, ito yung season na yon. But like, how's your schedule like? What have you been busy with?
To be honest with you, this is the busiest that I've been in the last 4 years because I'm usually just at home. I work from home anyway. I do meetings just like this, even prior to the pandemic start, you know, the pandemic hit and all of that. Even prior to that, I've already been doing a lot of meetings like this. So sanay na talaga ako when the pandemic hit. It was not really a break in my stride. If anything, dumami pa nga yung mga kliyente sa sa social media and things like that
because you manage brands, tama ba?
I do manage a few brands. Yes, I do manage. That's the bread and butter of my business, which is basically content strategy. I do a lot of digital content strategy, content creation, and all of that. But mostly strategy ako. I work with one like. I'm a horrible graphic designer. I suck at it. So I leave it again. I leave it to the people that do it better, and I just try and work with them instead, so that we can do a synergy of work that is excellent and is good for the client to reach their objective.
But that's your, kumbaga yun yung sinasabi mong pinagkakakitaan mo, pero you
day job ko,
day job. Pero nung election season, kahit na ayaw mo ng politics, na sinasabi mo talaga, you had no choice but to help your kuya, PBBM. And you handled Region 10 very well. We saw the rallies, etc. Punong-puno, di ba, well attended. At nanalo talaga siya doon.
Yes.
Can you tell us, like, how did you rally the troops?
Okay, well, first and foremost, it's never just one person. So there is an entire team that I was working with. Actually nga, to be honest with you, kasi nga ako super quiet and I don't like being in the limelight nga. I don't want to get into politics. I don't want to do this and that. So kami, when we were in CDO, what happened was we started hearing rumors about the caravan for the unit team or for BBM. So we were like, join tayo, diba? Just to see and support, whatever. But then I never made myself, I didn't introduce myself to the organizers. This was just organized by these kids, man. Wow. These kids, as in children. And
kumbaga,
then they were like,
hindi si BBM nagsabi sa'yo. Literal, nalaman mo lang na may
no one
mga
says anything. No, none of that. This was spontaneous. This was, I believe that was in November or December of last year. And then they organized like a 50,000, something ridiculous amount of people just to go, right? My banda on the pickup truck, the whole thing, at 5 a.m. on a weekend. And then transverse the entire city. And then I found out that yun na pala, meron na palang HQ doon sa Mindanao. So obviously, I went to give my support. Yeah, and I said, is there anything I can do for you guys? So that's how it snowballed into what happened, and means making a conscious choice to be able to support my brother in an area that we aren't really known. Where it's not Ilocos, obviously,
or Tacloban.
Or Tacloban, hindi ganon, diba? So talagang we were trying to ensure that the message that he was trying to say and the platforms that he was pushing at that time during the campaign was being heard. At nakikita, parang, kasi syempre, I have the very interesting vantage point of being at the ground level and almost, pretty much grassroots, no? And also understanding what National is trying to say and what Kuya is trying to say and what is he trying to convey by saying these big pronouncements, right? So kinakabit ko lang silang dalawa. So ito sinasabi nila yung agrikultura dito, o ito yung agrikultura program ni Kuya, tapos ito yung sinasabi nila, kaya kayo matutulungan at itong mangyayari.
Pero kasi hindi ka talaga involved sa politics, 'di ba? So how did you keep yourself sa group chat mo ba nalalaman yung mga plataforma ni Kuya, ni BBM or of course you wanted to say, hey, brief me so I can translate it to the grassroots?
To be honest, maybe this part is something that I got because I grew up around it. Na it becomes second nature to me to pick it up.
Okay,
Na, okay, gets ko yung ibig niya sabihin pag ganito pinag-uusapan sa ekonomiya. Ito yung ibig niya sabihin pag sinasabi niya, ito yung problema sa security of peace and order. Ito yung ibig sabihin ng turismo na kailangan natin ayusin yung ports, ganyan. Gets ko
so
siya.
you hear it talaga. You hear it growing up.
Yes, it's already, I mean, I do not claim in any way, shape, or form to be an expert in any of these fields, but I do understand what the concepts are, what is being, what they want to tell everybody, at kung anong kailangan nga i-convey. Kasi kahit pa paano, the municipalities na binisita ko, yung municipalities, cities, tsaka yung mga barangay sa CDO, yung binisita ko sila, syempre, iba't iba yung mga problema nila. Hindi lang iisa. It's never gonna be cookie cutter yan. Yung black and white, poor and rich, hindi ganun eh. There's a reason behind that. So, kailangan mo hanapin yun para talagang nakikita mo kung anong solusyon sa problema. Hindi lang dapat, ito, Chuck, this is the solution for poverty, this is the solution for hunger.
But you saying it's agriculture, meaning yun talaga yung sinasabi niya kasi hinawakan din niya. Imagine mo, now, it's like, it's not common for the sitting leader to hold, diba, like the agriculture, giving a spotlight to that. So parang ever since pala, yun pala yung talagang bukang bibig na kailangan feeling niya, kailangan niya ayusin.
Let's break it down. The food kasi, okay? Sa atin lahat sa Pilipino, diba, mahilig tayo kumain eh.
Oo naman.
Bakit tayo kumain ng ibang sarap na pagkain natin dito? Okay, then you whittle it down and you say, okay, may artisanal stuff naman pala tayo dito, pero bakit hindi nakakaabot dun sa mga sa mga ngisda? Bakit hindi nakakaabot dun sa So you have to fix those problems, right? So things like that, there are these things that the building blocks that need to be fixed. They're already there, but they need to get fixed or pivot it in some sort of way because of it's not working, diba? Things are not working. Not a lot of things are working anymore. Kaya,
that's true.
Or at the same time, if they are working, it could be so much better.
Actually, totoo yun. Pero punta naman tayo dito, nagtatanong sila, bakit ka nga raw nasa CDO? Of all places, di ba? Bakit napunta si little Aimee sa Mindanao?
Okay, so CDO is the hometown of my husband. And I moved for love dahil sa pag-ibig, diba? Kasi yung pamilya na nandun at saka there's two reasons why. One reason is because ako talaga, I've been wanting to get out of Manila na ayoko na talaga sa Manila. No offense, Manileños, pero it's not a city I'm not made for the city. I'm not made for this city.
Kasi bago tayo pumunta ron, kasi sa Manila, tama ba, commuter life? Ganun ang siste? Paano commute ba ginagawa mo? Baka walang maniwala. Anong commute? Ikwento mo sa kanila sa nagko-commute.
So noon, kasi I used to live in Capitolio in Pasig. So, and I used to work sa ABS-CBN. So the cheapest way to do that, kasi ayoko ng taxi, Ilocana. So, right? Nakahanap ako yung trike galing sa loob ng village ng Capitolio papunta sa MRT doon sa I forget the mall, yung name na yun ng mall, katabi ng anyway that mall there.
Bonnie, sa
yun yung
Bonnie.
stop ng yun yung stop ng MRT. Tapos you take the MRT straight to GMA. Baba ka GMA, trike ulit papuntang ABS-CBN. That was my daily route for about a year. 2 years.
Wow.
Years.
Pero batang tricycle ka rin kasi nga Kapitolyo.
Oo naman.
Ayan.
Oo naman.
Kasi pero natatawa ba yung mga friends mo, yung mga tao pag nalalaman nila na nagko-commute ka?
Medyo. Kasi sinasabi nila, bakit kaya mo at the time, no? Sinasabi ko, bakit may kotse ka ba na pwede bibigyan mo sa akin? Diba? It's like, to be honest with you, ayoko talaga ng kotse because one, carbon emissions, two, it's too much handle in terms of tawag nito, the maintenance at the time. And I was like, I just don't want to deal. It's easier to go somewhere without having to park. You know what I mean? Yung hassle ng parking minsan. So, The things like that, diba? Mobility for me is key. More than the convenience of it.
Baka mamaya doon na in love si Sid sa'yo. Wow! Bumalik na. Baka doon na in love si Sid sa'yo. Baka nagulat siya. Oh my God, si Aimee Marcos.
Wala yun.
Cowgirl! Cowgirl pala.
Super.
Sa kayo nag-meet? At kailan?
Oh, wow. So kami kasi we were friends in the scene I met him in the most cliche way possible in a bar, and then we just started to be friends, and then we were actually friends first. Tapos 11 years later naging kami.
Oh my gosh. Wait, ilang years na ulit kayo? Ilang years na ulit kayo?
Kami? Hindi, we're about 7 years now, 6 years now. I don't, I'm so not good with mga anniversaries and stuff, and I'm just not that girl that cares.
Yeah. Wait, so how does he support you right now?
What do you mean by support?
I mean, syempre, this hindi naman new, parang resurgence ng lifestyle, di ba? Na mapupunta sa'yo ngayon, imagine mo, may PSG ka na ulit, di ba? Tapos syempre, he was there nung wala pa lahat to.
Well, I think that he takes it in stride. He's a good, adaptable naman yan si Sid, kahit saan mo lagay. Game na game yan, and he'll fit in with anyone. That's why na-inlove ako sa kanya, kasi kahit saan mo dalhin pwede.
Oh my gosh.
Diba? Kalad ka rin, kumbaga. But okay naman. It's so far we're all adjusting to it. We understand the job, we understand why. Pero kaya what we're trying to do is just make it easier for everybody involved, na hindi kami yung nakakaasar na mga detail, di ba?
Pero wait lang, kasi nga dahil nga, of course, right now, dahil first family, meron kang security. So, does that mean di ka na makikita ng mga ka-unit team, di ba? Ng mga supporters kung saan-saan? Kasi dati, kung saan-saan ka lang namamataan, sa poblasyon, sa Kapitolyo, sa BGC, o kung saan sa CDO, di ba? Ngayon, hindi ka na nila pwede makita basta. Tama ba? Ganun yun? Ganun pagka...
Hindi pwede. There needs to be planning involved. There's a certain amount of planning, which technically speaking, ganun rin naman prior. Kasi Sid and I tend to revolve our days around work and our son. So yung dalawang yun takes precedence over everything else. So even if we had to meet with anyone else outside of that world, kailanganin namin i-schedule talaga yan, regardless of PSG or not. Just now, we have to tell not only each other, but the detail. Diba?
Oo nga.
So, yun lang yun. It's actually not as shocking as some
sounds to be.
Yeah, but you still have to get used to, I call them my shadow. Kasi parati sila nandyan. So it's like, it's a good thing, and sometimes nagugulat ka pa rin na parang, bakit yun nandyan, dude?
Pero nung bata ka, hindi mo natatandaan sila? Hindi mo na sila natatandaan?
Natatandaan ko sila. Pero sa akin kasi, bata pa ako noon. At saka parang siya it's just part of life. So it was never, I gotten used to not having that anymore. It's been how many years, diba, since I last had that.
Yeah.
I didn't have security. So now, I just want to be friends with them na lang, because they're all, they're legit soldiers. These are not like, hindi siya yung basta-basta lang sa These are trained military, AFP, PNP guys and girls. Right? So, totoo yan. Konti na lang isasaludo ko sa lahat.
Wait lang. So how will you explain it to your son? Diba? Papangalanan ba natin yung son mo? Pero how will we explain it to him? He's gonna grow up.
Explained it.
Okay.
We already explained it to him. We said that there are some bad people out there that may wanna hurt us. So these guys are our friends. They're the ones that are here to protect us from all of those bad guys and bad vibes. So they're just here. They're our friends. Don't worry about them. They're here to help you. They're here to keep you safe. And if we need anything, you tell them, diba? If they can help you.
Parang cool mom ka. Pero ano ka ba? Strict ka ba? Ano ba yung boundaries? Ano ka ba? No screen time? Woke mom ka ba?
Oh,
Anong klaseng mommy ka?
I guess I don't know. Most days I feel like the worst mom ever.
Why?
But the one thing I try and be very, very strict about is obviously, kasi kids like routine.
Mm-mm.
So sa akin talaga yung routine sa araw. Gising ka this time, you go brush your, there's a routine of action that you do. So gising ka, you go down, you wash your face, brush your teeth, get ready for breakfast, go to class, do this, do this. Tapos time talaga yan. Then once you start, once he sa school kasi umiiba yung schedule, 'di ba, ng konti. So we try and maintain a sort of framework that's obviously that one for me in terms of practicality is one of the most important things. Another thing is that you have to be, I don't mind if you're not intelligent, I don't mind. It would be nice if you like school and all of this and that, because it's fun to learn. But at the same time, I would rather you be a kind person to people. You become the person that, that helps someone when they fall down, you're the first one to help them up. Okay?
Sobrang
You'll be
kulay,
the one. That's the one I keep
sobrang
telling you.
kulay ng Romualdez Marcos, 'di ba? Na mundo, 'di ba? I mean, it's really very colorful in history. So, how do you explain that to him, especially he's in school here in the Philippines?
You explain it bits and pieces. Like the February 25th holiday. That was hard to explain, but there are things that you kind of, I've had to read up on a lot of things regarding how to explain certain concepts to an 8-year-old or a 9-year-old or a 6-year-old. Yung mga iba yung tingin talaga nila sa mundo eh. Kaya kailangan mo ma-explain in the way that they can understand it at that time frame, 'di ba? Hindi mo pwedeng ibagsak lahat na parang this is the ganyan, tapos may ganito, tapos may ganyan. Isa konti-konti mo lang. But this past year, this last few months actually, it's been medyo
Nagigets
hard
na niya?
talaga siya.
Nagigets niya na ba? Nagigets na ba niya? Kasi syempre may social media, 'di ba?
Konti. Nagigets niya na parang, Uncle Bong is now president of what?
Okay. Pero,
okay, so he won. Okay, I guess that's a good thing, right, Mama? I'll be like, yeah, it is. It's great, It's like, but he doesn't get the context of that whole thing yet. Na, okay, he's president, I guess. When we see him, is it okay to hug him? I'm like, of course it is. Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, the security's there, but more or less like he is him, right? He's very down to earth.
Yeah, you know what? At the end of the day, when you're together with your family, you become a completely different person, or you let your vulnerability come out a little bit more. And I think that's true for us all. So it's not even just him, but me as well. Every one of us, I think, is like that. I'm sure you are. So, diba? Hindi naman tayo nag-iiba masyado. Iba lang yung circumstances of how these things happen.
Grabe, pero napaka-unique na ulit ng, I mean, ever since unique naman talaga yung pinagdadaanan mo, di ba? Like, even nung wala ka pa sa limelight. But now, na ito na nga, I mean, imagine, nagpapa-interview ka na. Wow, thank you, ah!
No. You are the first and the last.
You. But like,
That's it.
Yeah, pero syempre, di ba, I'm sure they'll splice this, they'll try to get to know more about you. Where will you be now in the next 6 years? Saan ka namin makikita? Will you just be in Mindanao? Will you be jetting back and forth sa Manila?
At this point, to be honest with you, I'm not really sure. Pero I think that majority of my time will be spent in Mindanao. That is my home. I am a Cagaya. I consider myself a Cagayanon with an Ilocano heart. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still provinciana, whichever way you cut it, right? And I'm the happiest when I'm there. So that is my home. My home talaga is Mindanao. And that's where I plan to expand my business. That's where I intend to raise my child. That's where I intend to retire. That's where, things like that. So doon na talaga ako. With regards to coming back to Manila, I don't think I'm not sure how that's gonna work out, but yun na nga, we'll see.
Wait
Eh,
lang.
there's still a pandemic, ano ka ba?
Oo nga, pero wait lang, paano pag niyaya ka na tumakbo or anything? I know you don't like politics. You always say that. Like, kasi
Yes.
parang hinahabol ka niya eh. 'Di ba? I mean, hindi mo naman I mean, it's the natural course of things.
To be honest with you, unless it comes from the immediate family and they ask me to do so, no. I will, they're the only ones I'll say yes to. And even then it would be with a couple of conditions. But as of my own volition, na ako mismo magde-decide na, tatakbo ako, never. I don't think that that's going to be an option. I'm not interested in it. I leave it to people that are better at it. I always leave things to better people than I, because when I feel like wala akong mabigay dyan that they cannot give instead, I'll let them have the floor, because a job of politics is for the people, and I would like to serve my people, this country. I know that I can do it in another way. It doesn't have to be politics. I'll leave that to Kuya because he's smarter than I am. Aimee, sila yung mas magaling dyan kesa sa akin.
Pero last, so si Aimee, si Senator Aimee ay super manang Aimee. Sino si Little Aimee? Sino si Little Aimee ka pa ba? Ano ang tawag sa'yo?
Sometimes Little Aimee, sometimes Miss Aimee, sometimes Amax. I don't know anymore. Whatever.
Mag-vlog ka rin ba?
Depende sa pagkilala mo sa akin.
Mag-vlog ka pa rin ba o hindi? Will you ever enter? No na. It's just ironic because you hold social media, you're in a political family, then those are the two things na ayaw mong pasukin. Gusto mo lang gawin para sa iba. Parang ganun, ano?
Yes, because a lot of people need the help, and now a lot of people, I feel that mas matutulungan ko ang taong bayan sa trabaho kaysa sa pa-cute.
Ito na.
Hindi naman ako ganun ka-cute.
Wow! Pa-humble, nakakainis!
Totoo naman eh!
Maganda
ang
ka,
ko masyado, no? Masyado ako cowboy para dyan.
Ito,
hindi ako pwedeng gano'n.
Seryosong note, kasi syempre, kailangan may message ka sa lahat, di ba? May message ka sa public. Anong gusto mong message sa public? Those who love you, those who question, lahatin mo sila. What do you want to say as Little Aimee?
Taus-pusong salamat sa suporta niyo sa amin lahat, sa suporta niyo kay Kuya. Sobrang nakakatuwa po yung pag-outpour ng pagmamahal ninyo sa amin nung itong eleksyon na to. Especially for my brother. He really is an awesome dude. I'm glad that he got the job. Salamat sa inyong lahat at saka sa mga dinaanan ninyo para lang sa to prove your loyalty to us, to your support to us. Malaking bagay po yan, and don't think that we do not see it, feel it, and hear it all the time. We are so grateful for everyone out there. Even the bashers, even the haters, you guys are there to make us stronger, to challenge us and stuff. So I thank you for that as well. If there should always be two sides of a conversation. Hindi dapat nag-iisang side lang. Boring naman nun masyado. Pero sana naman we can talk about stuff without throwing hate around so much. Let's talk about it in a proper way. We're willing, okay naman yun di ba? We all have our own perspectives of stuff. Sana you can hear out ours na. That's it. Stay safe. Wear your mask. May pandemic pa tayo.
Get boosted.
Get boosted. Vaccinate thyself.
Thank you.